This video is inspired by seeing Sneako listed in my trends, having a vague idea of who he is and why he is, and figuring, well, I'd use some clicks today, so let's see how this thing works. The video is sourced from some simple internet searches, he's everywhere, if you will, and an article entitled Out of Touch, The Out of Touch Adult's Guide to Kids Culture, Who is Sneako and Why is He So Dangerous? Written by Steven Johnson for Lifehacker. Read the full details. The link will be where this video is to see the whole actual good words. My words on the subject will start now. Starting off with Sneako, aka Nicholas Sneako Candibalindazi, which we'll call him Sneako because I will totally butcher his name completely going on, is an influencer on YouTube. Found very early YouTube fame and now is more or less in online infamy for various things. His early videos were benign, good-natured, and kind of funny, and he got some work with Mr. Beast early on, who everyone knows as benign and good-natured and kind of funny. But after that work dried up, he transformed himself into a pariah to everyone, but mostly a fan boy for impressionable boys and young men, fueled by what can only be described as alt-right hate machines. And those are the words I describe him by because it's essentially the only way I can figure out to explain him to people who don't know what they're talking to or know what they're talking about. So you can send your hate towards me at Sneako. Start that right now. I'm sure more will come. One online description, by the way, calls Sneako. Sneako is a YouTuber who has become controversial for selling self-help courses, promoting alt-right ideologies, and spreading conspiracy theories. Pretty succinct, very apt explanation of who he is, but why is he on my timeline as I'm doing some work, and why am I talking about him now? Let's go straight to the Lifehacker article and read a couple paragraphs which tell you why he is trending. In the viral clip, Sneako runs into a small gaggle of those young fans out in public. After posing for a selfie with the hero, one of these kids, they can't be older than 13, starts chanting, "F the women, F the women." Sneako says, "No, we love women." The kids respond with statements like, "But not the transgenders," and "F gays," and "All gays should die." Originally posted on Twitter, the video's been viewed 65 million times in only a couple of days. I think it's been shared so widely, partly because filmed evidence of indoctrination in kids being openly hateful is shocking, but also because of Sneako's reaction. There's a moment when he looks at the camera and says, "What have I done?" Maybe he's mugging or trying to make a joke, but I read it as sincere. It seems like there's a split second where something gets through the rhetorical wall of irony, and it's only jokes and free speech that horrible people use to defend the indefensible. And he's really questioning how his content is polluting the kids' minds. And he wraps up with, or maybe he's just an a-hole. Now, there's a fair amount of incoming I took in a while back when I did a short video with similar complaints about these types of people. Two in particular were Candace Owen doing an interview with Andrew Tate, and why those two, as I call them, vile energy vampires I have no time for, were all over my newsfeed that day. I even had a soft spot for Candace Owen back in the day when we were doing things for the Conversation Project, and she would do something semi-newsworthy, and you jump onto it, talking about how I'd want to give her a hug and make her feel better. But then I'd literally lost hope in essentially the people who were seemingly determined to just fall for her grift. My cold black heart could no longer stand the cold black hearted Owens and just essentially gave up. So today's hijack of relevant news for the feed here has Sneako in the title, but it's kind of relevant to all of these people. And I use these people there on purpose because it's hopefully a quick jaunt into why we rarely cover these people and their topics, even with our pledge to cover controversial and conversational studies that will keep people interested, driven by engagement. If you guys are pulling for it, we should talk about it for the direct audience, you guys directly, and trending topics on the internet. And here's the reason. While highly controversial and conversational, there's little value in these people's words. There is value in knowing who these people are, exactly who's saying these words and where they are, so we know to avoid them, hopefully. But it also informs people their existence may lead to the growing of their audiences unintentionally. We may tell someone something they didn't know about, and instead of looking at them, judging them, or saying this is weird, they may fall into the trap of following them along. Not that I'm that much of an influencer, but you never know when you introduce information to people they didn't have before, what they will all do with it. As I said, I could use some clicks for the Conversation Project as we expand into new content territory like this. So I'm willing to take in some hits to grow this particular audience. And as we work on just how much of these things we're doing, how impactful this new content will turn out, we'll give you more deep dives into how they work, the value they give us, or what they take away from us, so you have full transparency. But there'll be more things like this, and you can tell me how they work out. We're trying new things here, and hopefully you will be able to enjoy it, or if you don't, you can give me the feedback that I need. Send all the hate you want, but hopefully a little bit of love here, and let me know what we can do better, as I always say, and what we can do not so worse. You can always email the show, the Conversation Project, at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. Of course, give me comments in the videos so we can actually have that as well. I thank you in advance for the love and the hate.